Looking forward to that, please.
Morning, people. Morning. Another segment of Coaching the Counselor. Thank God for my lovely wife, Coach Portia, and Pastor Johnson as well. He's our engineer for that.
Do my mic check.
Testing. Yep, got it.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Oh, you turned it off?
Yeah.
Okay. Copy just me? Okay.
Is that
That's me? No, wait, plug it in again?
plugged in?
Ours.
You plugged in?
Testing.
Yeah.
Testing.
All right.
There we go.
Yeah. Low?
Yeah, I think I pulled it out on that church, so.
You
Oh, there, now I feel it, now I hear it. Thank you.
are good?
Yes,
I hear you, so let me see.
yes, testing. See where your head is at. Can you think the future a little bit? A little more.
No, it's good.
How's the damage? Hi guys, good morning. Welcome back.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, Linda. Good morning, guys. Let us know where you're checking in from. Good morning. Good morning, my friend. How's everyone doing this morning?
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Give me the,
Thank you.
sounds. Okay, leave it there. No, leave it there, my love. Leave it there. Just sounds kind of. Yeah, okay, we're fine. We'll make sure.
Oh,
Okay,
here, it's super.
be sure. That's fine. Morning, people. Spread the word. We're back on. Do this for the glory of God. Trying to help someone. We know we're helping somebody out there. If you can, write us an email.
Hey, sister, what's up?
Go to unburdenme.net and just write us an email and let us know we've been a blessing to you.
Birthday shout outs to all the January birthdays, anniversaries.
We honor Dr. King. Celebration will be on Monday, so we honor him as well. Hey, people. Yeah, you guys love my wife, don't y'all? Y'all don't come on my Facebook. You go on my wife's Facebook. But I love y'all anyway. I'm an extension of her. Yeah. She's the second producer of Nancy moved down. And that's why it's
You got it twisted.
Yeah, there you go. Uh-huh.
I can't twist it.
Yeah, that's right. Good. All right, we're getting ready to go, people.
You're loud. Hi, Mom. What's up, lady? How you guys doing? There's your son-in-law.
What's Mom? Hey, Mom.
I don't know why you're so loud.
Hey, Mom, how you doing? Good to see you, Mom.
That's the mom from South. That raises her.
Mm-hmm.
Not mama's eight. I have two mothers. I'm blessed to have two mothers. He's all mine, I'm still fine.
Yeah, she says that, but she can't tolerate me no more. That's a new term. That's a new term. I don't know what she
He's
got from.
mine, and I'm gonna stick by him.
I mean, something wrong with you, y'all. And there's something wrong. I'll give it that.
Ah. Yes.
Not to mix up the words. Alright, how you doing out there? Good? Hey James, how you doing, Minister James? God bless you. Do great work, sir, on the TikTok. Minister James, God bless you, sir. Great job on TikTok, getting the word out.
Good morning, Alexandria. Good morning, my girl. How are you? Just give me the finger again because I can't hear anything. Just let me know because this is what I have to do. Everyone, John Sundays. Easy at work.
Morning, people. Morning, people. Good to hear you. You were looking at me funny when I was closer.
I'm looking at this.
Join Coach Family Conference every Sunday, 8 to 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Ready for the record? That's the Coach Family Counselor every Saturday morning, 8 to 8:30 a.m.
Welcome back to another segment of The Coach.
And the counselor.
All right, guys, we're going to jump right into today's topic. Happy New Year's to some of you that may not have tuned in last week. Happy New Year, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, everybody. New year, new times, new issues.
New Year, new me. The motto for 2023
Mm-hmm.
with Sit and Chat is it's all about me
Yes.
in 2023.
Getting yourself together, packing the bags. I'm going somewhere different. I'm not going to stay in that place no more again.
Mm. With that, we're going to jump right into our topic.
Mm-hmm.
And the topic for today is be uncomfortable.
Be uncomfortable.
Be uncomfortable. We're talking a little bit about stuck places this morning. And some of us, even though it's a new year, a new season, a new day, as many of us want to say and call it, we find ourselves in the second, going into the third week
It's
of
going by
the
fast
year,
already, yeah.
already stuck.
Yeah. Already in that place where you're not creative, you're not happy, you're not depressed, and we've already seen a lot of suicides already in 2023. So
People are depressed.
people are depressed because they are stuck, and it's time to be uncomfortable. In other words, if you're a person who's melancholy or you're not happy all the time, then you need to be in a place where you're joyful. Coach Portia, it is a struggle to not be in that place there that you're not good for yourself or people around you. You're so used to it, so you have to fight with regulations.
So the thing I'm seeing more so in this year when it comes to people I'm sitting before for is they're stuck because of legacy burdens.
Yes.
When I say legacy burdens, family burdens that they carry one to another, from grandparents to parents,
Generational curse.
siblings. Yeah, legacy burdens that people are carrying into this new year. The motto for 2023 again is it's all about me.
It is.
I want you guys to whisper that. It's all about me. Anything else outside of that, we're going to ask those things to begin to soften back, as we say it in my work. Soften back. In other words, in the street terms of Bridgeport, Connecticut, get out of my 6 inches, 3 feet of space, all right? Get out of my space.
Sure.
Because you are causing me, others are causing you to be stuck in places that is just not good for you.
Correct. And again, once you recognize that space, then you know not to go back to that space. When you recognize that feeling, when you recognize those vibes or that energy that's not good, you say to yourself, I don't want to stay there. And so again, it is a wrestling match. It is a constant wrestling match where you and I must say, you know what, I'm not going to allow myself to be a parlay to this narrative that keeps me stuck. That's why we're saying today, learn to be uncomfortable.
Learn to be uncomfortable and being in your own space.
Correct. And also being alone too as well.
Right, for many people, that is a very uncomfortable position.
Very.
Let me tell you something, what uncomfortableness brings. It brings peace.
Mm-hmm.
It brings, you know what, it's time to take a look at me now.
Right.
What do I love?
Right.
So many of us do not know who we are at our core.
Say that again.
Because we're living lives for so many other people. We don't understand who we are at our core. You've been living life for mom, you've been living life for dad, you've been living life for the church, you've been living life for sports,
Yeah.
you know, the teams that you're a part of.
Right.
So many times we get stuck in that way of being within a group. You know, it's great when you're young. You know, it teaches children how to be bigger than themselves, right? They're a part of something that's bigger than themselves. Once again, we're not growing outside of those teams. We're not growing outside of, who are we outside of the team? Who are we outside of the sport? Who are we outside of mom, dad, sisters, brothers, living for them? I feel especially for older siblings who take on responsibility. They sometimes never go outside of that. So they're so comfortable. They become the big mamas and the big papas of the world, the aunties and the uncles that we see, that are always there taking care of so many other people. What about you?
Yeah, that's very powerful, because as he was talking, I saw the egg and a person inside the egg, and here you are growing, but the egg is keeping you contained. That's what I saw. It's like the person's growing, and the egg somehow is able to keep you engulfed in that fetal position. And that's the point that I think God was trying to show me in the imagery, is that it's time to stop being that fetal, that point where you're letting people feed you things that they shouldn't be feeding you. And as long as you are there, they'll keep using you, they'll keep abusing you, they'll keep taking your money, they'll keep doing all types of things to keep you there. Why? Because we don't want you to change, because we see your potential, we see your greatness, we see the things that God has in store for you, but we don't want you to do that, because that means you'll be bigger than us.
How about this? It makes me feel better when I could, excuse
Yeah,
the
yeah,
expression,
yeah, yeah,
when I could,
Yeah,
when
yeah,
I could shit on you.
yeah.
It makes me feel better when I could do that. Some people are that way. Some people are parasites. So let's talk a little bit about
Mhm.
being stuck and what that looks like from another person's perspective. So we'll go two ways. If I'm stuck and people are pouncing on me, what does that look like for the other person? Especially sometimes I think we groom narcissists
Yeah, sometimes
because we allow it.
it's kind of like in high school, you know, when you jump, the person flinched.
Mm.
It's like you're always ready to be flinch, you're always ready to go in that defensive mode. Versus,
But yet you're not going to do anything about it.
and you're not going to do anything about
And
it.
the other person knows it.
Exactly. So that's why they'll keep. Okay. Now you're getting something there. The
Yes.
person knows you're not doing anything, so they'll keep the morale, they'll keep the negative, they'll keep that narrative because they want to keep you in that fetal position. As long as you stay there, we're fine. That's why you have to find out what is good for you. You know, there are other pastors, there are other ministries out there, but I know my lane. This is my lane. My lane is relationships. My lane is individual counseling. My lane is doing what I do on these Saturday mornings instead of being my comfortable bed with my fine warm wife. All right, but this is my lane. So once you find out who you are, don't let anyone change you. Go back to the old way because that's not good for you at all.
I like to say, be fixed, be uncomfortable, and telling others no.
Oh, that's good. Say that again.
No.
Say that again. Say that again. That's good.
N-O.
Right.
Get comfortable with saying no.
Right.
No, not today. No, this is my space. You're not going to be a part of it.
Because people will distract you.
Yes.
People will put you in a
Let's talk
place.
about that stuff. Yes.
All right. Distraction is one of the biggest tools of the enemy. All right. Because if I can distract you from your goal, if I can distract you from the favor, if I can distract you from where you're supposed to be, I got you. And here you are running around in circles. The book of Numbers talks about how people were going around the mountain for so long. And people are going around the same issue. That's why I got to be uncomfortable. I got to move out of what I'm used to something where I have to go. The promised land had to go through a wilderness, had to go through the pain, had to go through the suffering, had to go through the snake bites. Why? Because there's a promise for me that's waiting for me.
You were saying so much, and in that saying, that being stuck,
Mm-hmm.
you guys, we have to learn to say no to that.
Sure.
Be uncomfortable in saying no. Be uncomfortable in that position of, I got to know who I am at my core. That distraction a lot, when you were saying all of that, that you were saying, that distraction as well is a distraction for you to get to know who you are.
True.
So many of us, we don't know
Sure.
who we are.
Sure.
What do I like?
Mm-hmm.
How is it I like it? Do you like your soup warm, lukewarm, or cold?
Right.
I don't even know because I've been giving out so much. I know that he likes his warm. I know that he likes his super hot.
Right. What do you like though?
What do you like?
Yeah.
What do you like? What makes you tick?
That's very important.
It's one of the biggest distractions.
It's a big distraction. Like for example, in marital sex, my favorite subject. I can't go on what you've done with other partners. You know, this is my wife, and I got to do what is needed for her as she has to do what's needed for me. Sometimes you get distracted. Well, this worked last time. Or this worked with this person. No, what works now for the person who I'm with? Why? Now I can't do that, Coach Porter, if I'm not listening. If I'm not understanding what is being said. Why? Because I'm being distracted. It was that way last week. That was no.
What is needed in the moment?
Okay, see, that helps you not to stay stuck.
Mhm.
What is needed in the moment?
Yeah.
In other words, I can't keep using the same tool I've been using all of my life. I got to use different tools. A good person, a good workman has many tools in his toolbox, not just one.
So let's talk about a little bit about that. When we become unstuck, right? When we become uncomfortable.
Yes.
Being uncomfortable is a good thing, guys. Being uncomfortable is a good thing. We're going to talk a little bit about that, but do you want to wrap up like this first segment?
Yeah, again, overall, we're saying it's time to be uncomfortable. Listen, if you're not happy where you at already on the 14th of January, don't look at nobody else. Look at you. It's time to be unstuck.
I am Coach Portia.
I am Dr. B.
We are the coach and the counselor. Unburdened, using the IFS model of Hartsburg coaching with unburdening meditations.
And counseling and mentorship for individual and family. Call us 475-242-8179. That's 475-242-8179. For the unique husband
I'll just say coach.
and the counselor.
Welcome back to the second segment of The Coach.
And the counselor.
We're talking about being uncomfortable.
Be uncomfortable. I need to be uncomfortable. Uncomfortable. I'm sorry.
We have to learn to be uncomfortable.
Uncomfortable.
And in this being uncomfortable, we're talking about being stuck where you are. So many of us are so comfortable, again, living life for so many others.
Can't do that.
The big question is, who are you at your core?
Mhm.
Who are you at your core? And what distractions are you allowing to take place from you getting to know who you are in 2023? Again, the motto is, it's all about me.
Oh,
I need to be free. Errol Johnson says, in 2023, I'm going to be free.
yeah.
So what is your motto surrounding that this year? Because
Yes.
it's all about you. It's all about getting to know who you are.
Because when you're not uncomfortable on a regular basis, every now and then, you may be making your own grave. You could be making your own graveyard. Why? Because you're not doing things in action. Living is moving. Come on now. Living is breathing. Living is energy. When you're not moving, you're not breathing, and you're not having different energy experiences, you become comfortable. This is how I'm going to be. One thing that the older people say to me, I'm Planet Fitness. Yes, I go to Planet Fitness. I got a lot of really Planet Fitness. Old people say to me all the time. I mean, they're in the 80s for Porsche.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
in the 90s. They say all the time.
And they're more fit than we are.
They said, listen, Sonny, I just keep moving. I said, God, I hear you. And guess what? They're moving.
And what do they tell us a lot? They usually say, it's uncomfortable.
Yeah,
But I keep moving.
exactly.
It might be uncomfortable,
Exactly.
but I keep
They
moving.
keep moving.
The audience is saying, it's like walking around with leeches.
Mhm.
Leeches are stuck on for some time, but after a certain amount of time, they do fall off. Another live listener said, I feel lost in recreating myself, but I stay the course. You see
Good.
that
That's
part.
good.
Sometimes being uncomfortable is understanding that where's my direction? Where is my direction?
I'm sorry.
So the many times that we do become uncomfortable with seeking ourselves, that's the best comfort in the world. Because when it becomes uncomfortable, you know that you are on a journey seeking for yourself. That does, like so many people that I sit before, they're so uncomfortable going within.
Mhm.
You guys, that is the best place you could be in this entire world. That's why it feels like we're out of place when we begin to do that.
Sure. Again, it's you understanding you. It is you saying what brings me peace, what brings me comfort. And when you have someone around you that stifles you, that says, you know what, you can't do, you can't do, you can't do. No, listen, I may not be successful, Coach Portia, the way I want to be, but I'm successful because I understand me. Sometimes success, you define success as how many Instagram posts do I have, and how many followers I have,
How
and
much money I
how
have.
much money I
My
have.
big job title.
My big job. And I understand all the time, my success, and not to be too personal here, is my walk with God and my walk with my wife. That's it. If I have those two things and I've accomplished those two things, I'm happy.
It really is being uncomfortable, being simple. You
Yes.
know, you know how people
Yes.
talk about, and I'm one of them, living life on such a small scale.
It's the best thing.
I forget the word that they call it, but it's living life very, very
Yeah.
small, very,
Right.
very easy, simple living. I almost like what our live listener said. I feel lost
Yeah.
in recreating myself. You know, this becomes very deep. Now, remembering that this is just a part of you that's feeling that way. When we feel lost, there's some wisdom in that
There
for you in this moment. It's seeking and sitting with that lost one that feels so lost and deserted in a place, because when it comes to turning and going within, You guys, there's something so sacred about that.
And many people are lost, Coach Portia, because they're trying to define success in others and not in what God has called you to do.
Yes, you know, mom said I could be this,
No,
and mom said
no,
I could be that,
no,
or dad said I could be
no,
this,
no,
and my teacher said
no,
who.
no,
And so you're walking
no,
down paths that
no.
are really not yours. They're ideas from others.
You have to find people in 2023, what is your accomplishment?
So
Stop, hang on. Start making Facebook your accomplishment. Oh, look at that person's doing. That must be it. Or that must be, no. What is, when no one's around, when no one is watching you on Facebook, what makes you comfortable? And if you're saying, I need people to make me comfortable, that's a problem, Google. That's a problem. Because now you're saying, I need someone outside to make me happy versus something within making me happy.
So let's begin to talk about some of the things that people could do, maybe 4 or 5 things that people could begin to do to begin to walk into the lane of being uncomfortable, yet being easy and seeking that wisdom in being uncomfortable.
One thing.
You guys, number one, it's one of the best spots. I've been uncomfortable most of my life. So I understand this uncomfort level. When I feel too comfortable, I'm like,
Yeah.
no, that feels uncomfortable.
Like I'm keeping my weight off. Right now, it is people.
We are
I'm
very
telling you.
uncomfortable right now. We're
We went to a movie, so Friday's my date night with my wife. Yeah, date night. And so we're on this diet here, and we walked into.
well, we're on a life journey.
We're on a life journey that will never change as long as we live. And so we walked into the movie theater, and we smelled popcorn and smelled the hot dogs and smelled the pizza, and we just looked at it like.
You guys, the senses,
Yeah.
your senses
Heightened.
become so keen when you become uncomfortable. Because guess what? We had to say no to the outer world. We had to say no to that
Yes.
amazing sense of,
It's
oh my
deep.
God, the bird, the
We had to
butter.
say
It
no.
was down to the salt. Like you could
We smelled
smell
everything.
the salt beads and the
We became
popcorn.
superheroes with our noses.
It was like we were ingesting, but you know what? We held hands stronger.
Yeah.
We walked past that concession stand.
Look, thank God kept it very long. It was the longest I said. And then after the movie, we went to a diner, and for the first time for me, no hot dog, no hamburger, no fries. We had a regular salad with steak and grilled shrimp, and I had balsamic dressing.
And I had green goddess, and oh my goodness.
People, we don't do that.
It was so
Real good.
amazing. And you know what? It was worth
Yes.
being uncomfortable for what? 2 hours? and
That's the
30
point.
minutes?
Being
It was
uncomfortable.
worth
Yeah.
being uncomfortable
Right.
and saying no rather than doing what the majority was doing because the line was long.
It was long.
And we were like, ooh, thank goodness that line was long. That line saved us because
It did.
who knows if we would have said,
It did.
I think we would not have said it, but who knows if we would have been like
And-
weak in that moment,
And
you
the
know?
point of uncomfortableness is finding a partner who
Mm,
will walk with you uncomfortable.
that one person.
You
that
were
two
strong
persons, that
yesterday.
person,
I
yes.
was strong yesterday. So we had the same vision, the same purpose.
And guess what? It enforced that being
It did.
uncomfortable
It did.
state.
It
So
did.
many times, and we want to get to maybe 2 or 3 things that you could really begin to do to walk in that uncomfortable space, yet being okay with that.
Yes.
Number one is seeking a coach and a counselor. Okay,
What's
to teach you how to
Yeah.
navigate
Right.
when you feel those parts of being lost while you're recreating yourself. You know, feeling like you have those leeches on. Those parts have wisdom for you.
They do.
Once we sit with those wisdom parts and see what they're really saying to us, you guys, you begin to walk
Changes
a
everything.
beautiful path
Change everything.
that is so amazing.
Because it goes back to the distractions. If I can distract you, listen, it takes one bad move, one wrong turn. I heard someone had passed away recently because they made one wrong turn, done the wrong way, and it was a crash. So people hear me loud and clear. Learning to be uncomfortable is not trusting you, but trusting God in you. Trusting that point that I don't need to do something. This is not me. It's not making me happy. And And another sign that you're not uncomfortable in the correct way, that even when people show you a nice shiny $3 bill, it's just people. It doesn't move you. Because it's not real.
Because there's two polar opposite sides of being uncomfortable.
Okay, talk to
There's two polar opposite sides. There's the being uncomfortable part that we're talking about
Sure.
is what people are saying here. Remember when our audience said, "I'm a foodie and I wouldn't make it." Thank you for your vulnerability,
Yeah.
right? But then it takes someone like me to hold your hand and say, "No, come on, let's do it. We can do this together. Let's say no together." And when you have that good support system of that, speaking of those polar opposites, we can be uncomfortable in a good supportive way together, as opposed to, I'm uncomfortable sitting with, sitting with someone that's beating me up. That's not the discomfort we're talking about.
That's correct.
Okay?
That's correct.
The discomfort would be stepping outside of that, getting out of that, and moving toward a better goal. So let's just talk maybe 2 or 3 minutes about several ways that people can begin to walk an easy path of just being uncomfortable.
I think you just said it, Coach Porter. Being easy.
Simple.
When-
The simpler the
keeping
better.
it simple. What I love about my wife, she doesn't have a pound of makeup on her face. I mean, my wife is a natural beauty. It's one of the reasons why I married her. That's her hair, people. That's not fake. That is her hair. So is keeping it natural. It's keeping it simple, that you're not in this place where you're trying to be somebody that you're not. And that's it. Is that, can you breathe alone? That's good right there. Can you be who you are alone? So really, I just want to tell you people, it's time for you to take your time and breathe.
Well, let's go over two more aspects of that, of just how they can just move outside of themselves, and then we'll take a minute.
Another thing is that it's renegating or reconciling the past. It's not letting yourself stay stuck in the
So
past.
how do they do that though?
You do that by looking forward to your future. It's by enjoying your present. It's by saying, you know what, I don't want to. I don't want to be there. Look at the landscape of your family. Okay? Look at the landscape of your family and see, wow, there are things that I see that I don't want to be repeated. That's one of the powerful things you can do, is that I don't want to repeat that cycle again.
And then one more way.
Peace, meditate. Where you find that place where you can find the exhale. A lot of us are,
Yeah.
and you haven't
Yeah.
exhale.
Right. And we're full of anxieties and the feelings of woes that do make us uncomfortable, but the be uncomfortable.
Right.
So there's two things. Uncomfortable is one thing, but be uncomfortable
Right.
is a total different aspect. And with that, we will take a few moments to just breathe within ourselves and just ask the parts that are not willing to support us in this moment of being uncomfortable. We ask those parts to soften back. It's true. It is a choice to be uncomfortable. Understanding you do have that choice for yourself. That's the first step, is to making and creating that ground, that choice for you. I will be uncomfortable when it comes to knowing who I am at my core. So the biggest question and the homework is, who am I at my core? What makes me tick? And we're just going to breathe into that as we phase outside of this segment. We'll see you again next time.
See you next time, Saturday, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Let's get our website, unburdening.net, unburdening.net for your sessions or just comments and more information about us.
Love you guys. Peace.
Peace. All right, people, hope you enjoyed that segment. All glory to God. Thank you for joining us. Spread the word. We got to get out of here. We have a very long day today. We got a session at 9 o'clock, so we have to get out of here. Again, if you're looking for a coach and counseling perspective, you can do that with us as well. God bless you guys. Spread the word. Thank you.
Yes, go to
Minister Thomas.
birding.net to schedule your appointments.
Schedule appointments and you get the male, female coaching, counseling perspective. Until next time.